Lesson 13, Spooling. A spool or pipe spool or duct spool is a prefabricated section of piping or duct work that can include multiple items such as straights, valves, flanges, and dampers. Spooling is the process of creating spool drawings that illustrate how a pipe or duct spool is to be fabricated. For this lesson, you'll do the following: define a spool, create a spool drawing, understand spool colors. Open spooling.dwg from the exercise folder. Right-click in the gray area beneath the CADmep toolbar. Select AutoCAD CADmep Spool Tools. The Spool Tools submenu toolbar appears. Position or dock it where it is easily accessible. Select the Define Create Spools button from this submenu or enter Spool DWG in the command line. The Define and Create Spools dialog appears. The first time you use this command, most of the settings are blank. Spool name is a unique name for the spool. These names are alphanumeric and will increment numerically with each additional spool. Enter Tutorial 1. Click Path, browse to the exercise folder and pick the Select button. CADmep displays paths with slashes rather than backslashes. The path that Windows lists as C/Autodesk Exercise displays as C/Autodesk Exercise. This does not affect software operation. If the selected path displays without a final slash, add it to the end of the path. Template selects the spool drawing template file. Pick the template button, browse to the exercise folder, highlight spool_template.dwt, and select Open. Click the Job Information button. The Job Information dialog appears. Some basic job information has already been entered. Make no changes to job information. Click Cancel to return to Define and Create Spools. Select Change Color to enable it. Several options are activated. The Color drop-down menu selects the color of the duct pipework section. The Bump Color button increments the section color without having to open the Color drop-down menu. Color Range sets the AutoCAD colors that are listed in the Color drop-down menu. The values are the AutoCAD color numbers separated by commas. Click the Bump Color button as needed to set the section color to red. For every spool created, CADmep automatically increments the section colors. The Set View to option selects the AutoCAD view for this spool from a pull-down menu. Set it to SW Isometric. Enable the Set Status option. This allows item status to be set by the spooling process. Click on the drop-down and select 5, Issued for Manufacture. Enable the Report option to create a bill of materials within the spool drawing. Note, when using the Report option, the prompt for report placement is relative to the bottom left-hand corner of the report. From the Report drop-down menu, select Spool_Equipment Report Format. Click the Setup button. The Select Report File dialog appears. This allows creation of new reports. Click Cancel to return to Define and Create Spools. Enable the Update Title with Report option and use the drop-down menu to select the Title_Block Report format. This option uses a report format to populate the spool template title block. Fabrication CADmep uses a scripting programming language to automate tasks. The Execute Script File option allows selection of a script to automate spooling. Do not enable this option for this exercise. When enabled, Export Item Data creates a CSV file using a pre-configured Item Data Export report. Do not enable this option for this exercise. The Tag section has many options that control the setup of items, numbers, and leaders. When enabled, Tag settings will automatically place the item numbers with or without leaders. Display makes number tags visible in the spool drawing. Prompt for positions asks for the location of item numbers during the spool process. Lock leader works only when prompt for positions is enabled. It automatically places leaders based on the position of the item number tag. Renumber changes the item numbers of spooled items to a specified starting number. Same number for identical parts allows identical items to have the same item number. Note the option near the bottom of this dialog to create in Layout tab. Spool drawings can be generated on additional layout tabs within the same drawing file or as separate AutoCAD drawing files. Spools generated as layout tabs within the same drawing are automatically updated if changes are made to the model. Spools generated as separate drawing files are not linked to the original drawing file and are not updated when changes are made to the model. In North America, it's common practice to generate separate spool drawing files to distribute to the shop floor. For this exercise, disable this option. The Select All option is disabled when the Define Create Spools button or Spool DWG command was selected. It's only accessible when using the Batch Create Spools command. The Create Spool on OK option creates the spool drawing using the options that are checked in a new job file. Leave this unselected if you wish to change settings and update an existing spool. Do not enable this option for this exercise. For this exercise, enable only Display, Lock Leader, Renumber, and Same Number for identical parts. Set the renumber starting value to 1. Select OK to start the spooling process. You're prompted to select objects. Select the pipe section using an AutoCAD window selection method and confirm. Fabrication CADmep creates a new drawing using the settings established in the Define and Create Spools dialog. You may receive a warning about center of gravity accuracy. You may ignore this and click OK to dismiss the dialog. The bill of materials on the right side of the drawing is automatically created using the Spool Equipment Report format. The title block is also automatically populated with the job information using the Title Block Report form. The left viewport contains the items that were selected from the model with item numbers automatically placed. Zoom in to the upper left pipe elbow in the isometric view. The tags may be too small. To reset the tag text size, double-click in the viewport to activate it. Enter text size in the command line. You're prompted for a new value. Enter 3 and press Enter. Enter Regen in the command line and press Enter. Use the Move Object Text in Viewport Only command or Move Text VP located on the CADmep toolbar to move the item number tags to the left side of the pipe. The item number tags are more clearly seen. The items with an item number of 2 are welded joints. The pipe elbow has an ID of 3. Select one of the tags and drag the magenta triangle to place the leader. Repeat this for the remaining 2 tags so that they point to their associated items. Pan along the horizontal pipe to the second elbow. Use the Move Text VP command to relocate the 3 tags at the elbow to the left side of the pipe. Extend the tag leaders. Zoom out to see the entire spool drawing. The dimension style and object snap mode need to be set before adding dimensions to the spool drawing. Use the Annotate tab on the AutoCAD ribbon to set the current dimension style to Annotative. Your CAD manager will set up proper text and dimension styles to meet your organizational standards using AutoCAD features. A quick method to set the object snap mode for easy spool dimensioning is to enter OSMODE in the command line and set it to 47. This turns on the optimal O-snaps for spool dimensioning. Select the Add Spool Dimension button on the Spool Tools toolbar and enter Spool DIM in the command line. You're prompted for the first extension line origin. The Add Spool Dimension command quickly places isometric aligned dimensions in a spool drawing regardless of the UCS. Select the endpoint of the vertical pipe as the first extension line origin. When dimensioning spools, it's best to start with the endpoint of the end item and dimension to the midpoint of the next item. The final spool dimension should end on the endpoint of the final item. You're prompted to specify the second extension line origin. Select the midpoint of the elbow. You're prompted for the dimension line location. Note that the dimension line is in isometric alignment with the pipe. You can change the plane or direction of the dimension by 90 degrees by pressing the space bar repeatedly. Place the dimension to the upper right of the vertical pipe. The spool dimension command remains active after the first dimension is placed. This allows you to continue placing spool dimension by using the extension line of the previous dimension. Select the midpoint of the second elbow. You may find it challenging to pick the midpoint if the item number tags were not moved outside the pipe. Zooming in or out may help you select the midpoint. You're prompted to pick the dimension line location. Using the spacebar, orient the dimension to the upper right of this pipe. Continue by placing the third and final dimension. Press Enter to close the Spool DIM command. Notice that the pipe spool items were generated in red in this spool drawing. Return to the original exercise file, spooling.dwg. It remains open and can be accessed from the AutoCAD file tabs. The color of the pipe spool items have changed to red. This color change indicates that these items have been spooled. This color change was specified in the Define and Create Spools dialog. Select the Reset Spool Color button on the Spool Tools toolbar or enter Reset Spool COL in the command line. You're prompted to select objects. Select the pipe spool items and press Enter to confirm. The spool item's color is reset to their original color. Now select Set Spool Color and select the same items. The item's color is changed back to the spool color. Once an item has been spooled, the spool color is assigned to that item and can be toggled off and on using these two commands.